What's going on, y'all?
What's up, y'all?
How y'all doing?
How's everybody doing?
How y'all doing?
Well, today we're coming with a short podcast. So, thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you later. Have an encouraged week.
What if we just did that, though?
Right?
That's hilarious.
We'll have to do that on April Fool's, and then have it go black, and then come back like 20 seconds later.
Well, you can't tell them, and then...
Okay. Scratch that.
Anyway.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Let's do it. Get
Okay.
it.
Hey.
What up, what up, what up?
What's going on, shouties?
Yes.
Welcome back.
The only clap you should be excited for just happened. Welcome back to Let's Make Out podcast, where we make out all things what?
Love, life, and laughter.
That's right. So this is my beautiful wife, Gabrielle.
Hey, handsome husband.
Thank you. And my name is Chad. And yeah, welcome back.
Welcome
Thank you so much for
or
tuning
welcome,
in.
if it's your very first
Yeah, exactly.
time. We appreciate you clicking on over so we can make out together. But not the way you may be thinking.
We're going to make out together.
You do your thing, okay? We'll do our thing over here,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
So let's see. Oh my goodness, you guys. What is going on? I think
Yeah, what were you about to say?
the world is making steps to come up out of quarantine. Well, at least I know it is where we are. We're making steps to come up out of quarantine.
To see what it feels a bit... had to go to the grocery store the other day, and I still wore a mask, and went out and did my thing, and and it just almost, there's more people out, there's more because things are opening up where we live, and we live in Indiana, so things are starting to open up, and we're in the third phase of a 5-phase rollout plan by the governor, and it felt a bit like a month ago you would go out and it was like weird.
Oh yeah,
it just felt weird.
Yeah.
It didn't feel as weird.
Felt a little bit closer to normal.
Yeah, a little bit closer to normal.
Yeah, now some people out here that's just back to normal.
Some people just
no social distancing, just
nothing
out here in these streets
doing the most.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess honestly, like, I can sit here and be like, shame on them.
Can't be mad at them,
but I mean, you got to do what you feel like is comfortable for you.
They're not breaking any.
So,
they're not breaking. Here's how I think about this. They're not breaking any laws.
Right. These are all recommendations.
They're all recommendations, so they are not laws to do these things.
Well, at least here, like, we don't have any laws that you have to wear masks either. Yeah.
And the gatherings can be up to 100 people now here in Indiana. So if they're not breaking these laws and they're choosing to live their life the way they want to live,
yeah,
it's their choice. I just have a choice to make sure that if I don't agree, then I don't associate, right? Or I don't go around that circle, or I keep my kids away from that. I keep my family.
Well, devil's advocate to that, because I know what some of you are thinking. They might not be breaking laws, but you are essentially putting other people at risk by doing this, and it could, in some form, come back to me or my loved one or whoever, because you aren't taking these precautions seriously. So I do see it.
I see
ways.
it. And I agree with the side of being safer, and that's why we're wearing masks. Yeah, that's why we're taking precautions. So don't get me wrong, we are taking precautions.
But I feel like everybody has their.
But what I'm saying, like, we have so if these people decide to go out, if family A decides to go out with no mask and do whatever they want, then family B, C, and D has a choice whether they want to interact with family A.
True.
Right? So,
True.
So if they decide to interact with family A, then that's a choice they're making. Like us as family E, we're like, you know what? We're not going to hang out with family A right now because they're just not taking safe precautions that we want to take.
Yeah.
So but I mean, it's one of those things where it's
so tricky though.
Germs. Like they did like a report on. Didn't you see that? Something about some germs on a buffet.
Oh yeah, did y'all see that?
That was crazy.
They had the so it was like blue light. Blue light. However they do the thing, they had shown somebody going through a buffet or a few people going through a buffet. So then they like turned the lights off and used the blue light or black light, whatever one it is, where you can see all of the bacteria and the germs, and it was like on people's clothes, on their mouth and their face, and just everywhere from simply going to a buffet and getting their food from the buffet. And I think it just goes to like to show how often we are unaware of how much we touch ourselves. Like, I know that I touch my face constantly. I touch my hair constantly. Like, and you don't even think about every time you're not washing your hands. You're not using hand sanitizer. You pick up your phone. You don't wash your hands after you use it.
We all do it.
We all are guilty of it. But it was so crazy just to see that visual.
Yeah.
Like, wow. But it is, this is what I was saying too, because, you know, like, we have certain people that we have chosen to be around that we don't social distance. Like, my mom comes over all the time. I don't stay 6 feet from her. We don't wear masks when she comes over. Exactly. So it's one of those things where you can look at somebody and be like, shame on them. Exactly. But I feel like we all have that group of people that we feel comfortable enough with that we've let our guard down.
Now, if you locked yourself up in a basement and you haven't talked to nobody in 3 months, then
more power to you.
More power to you. You are not wrong. You did what you wanted to, what you thought was right. But I think that this world that we live in, that's full of just judgment and I'm doing what's right and you not. It's just
it's tricky. It's tricky. I mean,
live your life and let others. You know, and
pray for protection,
and then, you know, offer advice. If somebody's doing something that you think is unsafe and you know them, it is okay to be like, hey, you should probably be doing this. But you ultimately, you can't make them change, right?
Right. No, that's true.
You just have to be, you just have to, you know, you got to do your part to help, but know that you can't control other people's lives.
You can't. Because when I go to the store, it'd be a gang of folks with nothing.
That's right, but we gonna
nothing.
We still haven't
and
taken our kids.
And there was this lady in Target behind me, and Target even has they have the 6 foot sticker. When I tell you, she was literally so close to me. I just kept looking at her like, man, you just gonna be this close to me? We had the cart in between us, but that cart is not 6 feet. And she literally looked like she was pushing my cart. That's how close she was. I was just like, I can't go nowhere. It was just really interesting to me. Something. But some people are just unaware, or
they don't. It's not a big deal. Like,
yeah,
you know, and that's, you know.
And you may look at us and be like, well, y'all doing the same thing, because
that's fine.
You know,
whatever.
I mean, it's fine, but
yeah. Again,
it's just an interesting world that we're in right now. Nobody has been through this. Nobody has experienced this. So I feel like we're all just trying to figure it out, trying to get back to our new normal, because it'll never be back to what it was. Like, just all of the things. And I think we're all on edge, and I think we're all just irritated a little bit and ready to go travel and do the things, and sometimes we project that onto other people, and anyway, that is your weekly conversation on quarantine. I know we've been like starting off our episodes just kind of talking about it, because that's kind of what's happening right now, and things are changing and progressing.
We pray one day we will never have to speak of it again.
Man, we'll always speak of it again. This is going down in history. Somebody will bring it up at some point.
It will. No, it will. But
you won't get these weekly updates like this. Yeah. So, I guess we'll cue the music.
That's
now.
right.
He was ready.
Mm-hmm.
That's my jam, okay?
That's a part right there.
That's my part right there. And we've been slacking on the music. Why we go almost 10 whole minutes before we put the music on? The music's supposed to be like minute 2.
I know.
Minute 3 at
chatting.
the most.
We chatting.
So.
But yeah, so.
Anyway, what else has been going on? Did you guys listen to Versuz with 112 and J.E., Jagged Edge? Yeah, that was a struggle.
I felt like it was just one versus Jagged Edge.
Well, it was only 2, because I guess there's like lawsuits going on between half of 112. I don't know, whatever.
Crazy.
But it was a struggle. That audio, like, and I be trying not to sound like, oh my goodness, I can't listen to it because of the audio. I mean, for one, these are artists that don't have to do this. It's a free whatever. It is a bit of an annoyance, though, when it's like all this technology and y'all can't figure it out. So Versuz, they actually tweeted that they send the best equipment to everybody, but everybody doesn't use it, because they were like, we hear you talking about the sound, but we handle this.
Because Timbaland and Swiss Beats are professionals.
Yeah, they're like, look, we've handled this, but people don't use it, I mean, what can you do?
Because it's just like, yeah, man, like the I think it's appreciated by all the artists, but it's like you want to be able to hear the music, and when it cuts out every 2 seconds, then you're just like, I can't hear the music, and like you don't get to hear the conversations because it's always cutting out.
Yeah.
So it's like
where the Spotify playlist? If y'all got the Spotify playlist, link it, because I know somebody that made it, because I was jamming. You know, you just forget about songs.
You do.
And I think that's the best part about it, is like you get to relive their catalogs, and some stuff I was like, oh yeah, that was the jam back in the day. Like it was
I forgot that 112 was on Missing You, the Biggie tribute. I forgot 112 was even on there. I just forgot about it, you know.
Yep. The stuff that you don't really think about.
You don't think about, because you obviously remember Puff and Faith Evans, but you forget about 112 was on there.
It's crazy. Bad Boy shouted.
Yeah, Bad Boy.
So it was fun though. I missed the Jamaican one. I'm mad. I didn't even know that it was happening. It was like Beanie Man and
that would have been good. I'm drinking rum. I can't remember
his name right
and
now.
Red Bull.
I don't feel like that's a Beanie Man song.
It is a Beanie Man song.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is it really?
Yes, sweetie.
Okay, fun fact. That is like our song.
That is our song.
Because we heard it nonstop on our honeymoon
in Jamaica.
And it just has always become our song.
We just fell in love
every
with
time we was working out a couple weeks ago and it came on, and it was just like, oh, it just takes us back to Jamaica on our honeymoon.
So we cannot. I
can't believe I didn't know that was Beanie Man.
It's Beanie Man.
I'm so mad that I missed it though, because everybody was like, oh my god, that was the best one. But anyway.
But yeah, so a positive thing happening here is the weather's getting nice.
Oh.
It's in the 80s for the last 3 days.
I just pray it stays.
So yeah, I think that we're getting.
I think we're at the point though where it's.
I think we're getting to the point where the end of May is when it usually starts heating up in Indiana. You know, this is usually, you know, what yesterday should have been the Indy 500.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Isn't it usually on Sunday?
Well, yeah, I'm sorry, Sunday. Sunday should have been the Indy 500. They postponed it, I think, till July. And I'm not even a big race fan, but it's just
August.
But living here in Indiana, you know, you obviously hear about it all the time. It is something that it brings up memories of, you know.
I'm gonna go one year
of going to qualifying. I went to the qualifying back in the day when I was a kid.
To the qualifying.
And it was cool because, you know, like the race, you know, you're I've never been to the race, but I you know, I've talked to friends that have been, and, you know, you're just kind of there, you know, for a long time while they racing. But the qualifying, you know, there's things happening in the pits, and you can go see the cars, and
well, I'm sure that they have stuff going on during the race too.
Well, during the race,
I guess the main focus is the race.
This is the race. Like that's when they are performing. It's like going to a basketball practice versus going to a basketball game. Practice, you know, if you've got access to the practice, you can go up and like, hey, what's up, LeBron? You know, you might be able to wave at him from the court. Like, for instance, when Tommy and I went to a Pacers game, and Tommy.
Oh. Like,
and I were, you know, Tom from Facebook, and you know,
Tom from MySpace, ain't it?
Tom from MySpace, yes. You know, Tom from MySpace. We went to a basketball game before.
That's so funny.
And no, Tommy and I went to a Pacers game, and it was when the Thunder were in town and Russell Westbrook. So we walked down to the court, literally almost on the court, and Westbrook was shooting free throws. Remember I showed you that picture? Yeah, and I was 10 feet like from right there. Yeah, 10 feet from Russell. Was like, what's up, Russell? He just kind of gave us a deuces, and that was it.
They're not focused in the.
And we left him alone and walked away. But he's, you know, but that's the difference, you know. Whereas like qualifying is, you know, you're getting the car ready and then trying to run the fastest lap you can for qualifying position. But there's little more light.
Next year we're gonna go.
Yeah, we should.
I just want to go because it looks like a big old party. Folks just be out there having a grand old time at the track, okay?
Yeah, and I just want to experience I mean, we live here. We might as well go at least once.
Yeah, like what? I mean, who lives in Indiana and never been to the 500? Now, I have been and have worked. I wasn't like in the track, but I was working as like a brand ambassador. So I was on my feet all day dealing with them drunk folks. I don't even remember what it was that I was... But that was my one experience with the Indy 500. Funny. So, yeah. I guess it's not too late to go this year. I mean, it's not until August.
We're hoping to be somewhere on a beach.
Honey, that is my goal. We will be 9 this year. It's our anniversary in August. And
our goal is to be somewhere.
My goal is to be somewhere
in the Caribbean, hopefully. If not.
Yeah, I guess in the Caribbean, because we were going to go, we were going to do Napa for our anniversary this year. But if that's our first time getting up out of here, I might need to go to the beach.
Might go. Napa can wait.
Napa can wait. So
we'll grab a Napa apple. Okay.
So yeah, that's the plan. I mean, honestly, our birthday month is coming up in June. You have been warned. It's coming up. It's gonna be a celebration all June.
That's right.
I was trying to go somewhere for June, but I don't know. Part of me wants to go, and part of me does not. My birthday's on the 30th, and I'm like, what if we just went down to Florida for a little bit? But see, the thing is, I don't want to drive.
Yeah, see,
I
that's
just
the
don't
thing.
want to
She wouldn't
drive. I don't want to
anyway,
go enough to drive.
The thing is, she wouldn't drive anyway. First of all,
I don't want to ride in the car for 10 hours. I don't care if we break it up. I can't. And you know what? Quiet as it's kept, Reagan wouldn't either. She would be a hot mess express.
That's
okay.
right. You just have to sit back there with her. And just hold
See,
her
I'm
hand
not
and
interested.
just sing to her.
I don't know, but
just play patty cake with her
if
for 10
something
hours.
changes, y'all can find me on the beach on my birthday.
We'll figure
At
it
least
out.
in my mind.
If look, I'll buy a couple bags of sand. Like I said, put them in the backyard so you can just sit in the sand.
Oh, that's fine. Do we have any peeps that are listening that live in Florida? Have you guys gone to the beach?
Yeah.
What is it like? Like, are you guys kind of back to somewhat normal? Are people there? Are they keeping their distance? Like, just in case we decide to go.
You're so cute.
What's it looking like?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. What else
we got to take
can
a first
happen?
step and actually go into a store with our family. We still have not done
Oh,
that
that's
once.
so true. We have not gone anywhere.
Our kids have not been into
Any store.
They have masks, but we still have not
They haven't been
taken them to the store. So
Yeah.
it's not because it's not pressing.
Right. There's no reason for us all to go. One of us can go.
One of us can go. So it's like we need to start there, I guess. Being,
Just
again,
doing something, though. I feel like we've been playing a little bit outside, but I think now that parks are opening up, it would just be nice to now that the weather is nice, just going, and even if it's just walking down on the canal downtown or going and walking in Broad Ripple, just being like outside of our little
we have
community.
a trailer now for Reagan. If you watch our vlogs, you saw that.
We could ride on the Monon.
Exactly. So we want to start taking some bike rides. So we got the trailer, and
she is almost busting up out of. Which
she's almost busting out. But she fell asleep in it, so she was comfortable and she loved it. She did not whine one time. Chad was over it when we put him.
He was.
And even
had
had Oscar
with him, so it was him and Oscar in the back. We didn't get a 2-seater this time.
And he was over it, but she loved it and fell asleep. So we need to take us some, go drive somewhere and maybe eat in an outdoor place that's along our Monon Trail, and just spend some time out
or
in the
have
sun.
a picnic.
Have a picnic. We can stop somewhere, have a picnic.
Yeah, we should plan for that next week.
Yeah,
Maybe
so we're gonna figure it out, y'all. It's just it's just an interesting time.
It is.
So let's get into a question.
Which
book you want, Shawty?
I don't feel like we haven't done a love and sex question in ages. The Book of Questions, Love and Sex Edition. Let's see.
Question. Number. We have 235 questions.
So 203.
Okay.
Let's see what they talk about.
I think we. I
swear we have asked this question
Wow,
before.
we definitely, yeah.
That is so crazy.
Does your partner do things that regularly embarrass you?
Do y'all remember that? We asked that question. Okay, so 103.
103 and 103 in Park.
106.
I know.
I miss music videos.
What is the longest lovemaking experience you've ever had?
The longest? I really don't know. I don't feel like you need all of that time. So
yeah,
I don't need to be making love for hours. It's just
we had some good decent sessions.
We have, but I feel like if it goes over an hour, I'm kind of like, are we done?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just me. I know some people that like it's this big thing and you go and maybe you stop and start again.
Yeah,
and, you know what I'm saying? So that when you look at it like that, that's different.
That's different.
But
like just like
one
going,
consecutive situation.
Yeah, I say that. Yeah, for us, yeah.
I don't know that I have an answer. It definitely wasn't more than an hour is what I would say.
Yeah.
Because I'm tapped out after that. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. She's like at that
finished?
point she's
I'm like, okay,
satisfied and ready to watch it, cuddle up and watch a show.
Man, yeah, that is interesting. I'm gonna ask y'all, what is the longest lovemaking situation that you guys have had?
Yeah.
Like, what is? Yeah, let's go ahead and just talk about it. Put it in the comments, okay?
Exactly.
Because I would be curious to know.
Yeah.
And was it consecutive, or you like take
Exactly.
breaks? You know what I'm saying?
Like, but as long as it's it's all you it's good. You're having fun, and you're both satisfied.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. Okay. What book do you want?
Let's see. You do this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can do that one.
Well, number
73.
73.
73.
Oh, wait. Shit. Have you ever talked with people much older than you about how their experience of sex has changed over the years? If not, is it because you aren't interested or because you feel awkward about bringing up the topic?
No, I have not. But out of experience, like we talk about this all the time, our sex life has gotten better.
Oh yeah.
Like over and over. Like, the longer we've been married, the longer we've been together, like it's continually gotten better. Mm-hmm. So,
sorry, I was rereading the question again.
Yeah, so I think
making sure I read it right.
So that's out of experience. Like it's gotten better.
Yeah.
Every year. So,
but now it's got me curious. Like,
but I don't have anybody that
I'm gonna ask Nana.
I don't have anybody that I have close enough that I would ask that, I guess. Too.
Oh, true.
Like, Mark and I could ask Mark, but
but he's only like 10 years older than you. It's not like, when I think older, I'm thinking like, parents or grandparents.
Yeah,
like you would never ask your mother this.
No, exactly. I don't have anybody that I would ask.
Yeah. I could ask my mom. She would tell me.
Yeah, she would tell you, but But no, speaking from experience though, ours have gotten.
It definitely gets better with age, I think.
It gets better with age, but just the I don't know if it's the closeness, the bond, the comfortability, everything it gets so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting. Now I'm like, who can I ask? I feel like if I asked my mom, she would tell me. But
she would, yeah.
Exactly. Nana, Papa's been gone since 2008, so
Nana would still tell you though.
She would. I'd be like, Nana, so what was the? I feel like I actually have asked her that before, like years ago, and I think she like shied away from it. She didn't answer me.
That's funny.
She didn't answer me.
That's hilarious.
That's so hilarious.
That
I think I didn't ask her like about the experience, but I think I was just like, y'all be having sex. You and Papa be having sex. I'm pretty sure I asked her that years ago.
That's hilarious.
And she was like,
well, I'm not gonna answer that now. That's hilarious.
That is so funny, and I wonder, like, when you get older, does it become more of a like, do you crave it more? Do you go through a period where you're just okay? Like, I do wonder, like, how that
I don't know.
How that changes. Does your sexual drive increase, or does it bottom out? And if we have any older listeners that feel like sharing their experience, go for it.
Yeah, this is all about helping.
I don't know how this would help anybody. It's not like you can really prepare for it.
Well, but
change.
Well, information is
just
knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Though.
Applied knowledge is power.
Okay, but you need it first and then apply it. If you ain't got it, applied is not.
But then
power.
What happens when you have all the knowledge and you do nothing with it? It's just like useless.
Unapplied knowledge. It's the same thing. But you need the knowledge first if you're gonna be able to apply it.
True. Whatever. We're rambling. Can you tell we don't really have a topic for this situation?
All right, so jumping into it, we actually got we've been getting some Ask Gabe and Babe, so we appreciate that. So we actually have one that we decided on today. That's a pretty detailed one, and we just thought, that this is, we're ready to get outside and relax and hang out, do some things today. So we was like, you know what, let's just try to help somebody out, see if we can give some opinion.
Oh, I was like, what does being outside have to do with anything?
And so this ain't gonna be a super long podcast.
As we're already 25 minutes in.
All right, so here we go. This is from L. You did not ask to be anonymous, but we're gonna keep it anonymous. So it's from L. Thank you so much for the email. Her title of her email is called "Conflicted." Okay, 2 exclamation marks.
Okay.
Hi, Gabe and Chad. My name is L. all the way from South Africa. Whoop, whoop.
Hey.
What up, South Africa?
Shout out.
Yes.
Shout out.
I've been a fan of Gabe and Babe channel since my second year in varsity back in 2014.
Wow.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
That's
you.
That's awesome.
And currently 25 years old and have recently met someone. He is 29 years old. We've been talking over chat and phone calls for the past 5 months, and it's been going well. He is my cousin's childhood best friend, and we actually started talking at his wedding. We haven't disclosed to anyone that we've been talking, including my cousin, because we wanted to see what would actually come of this friendship we were building. He proposed starting a relationship with me and has been patient, but I have a few things not sitting well with me. These include: number one, I'm a fully devoted follower of Christ and would want my partner to share the same belief, but I feel like at this point it would not be comfortable submitting to him as a leader in our relationship. Mm-hmm. This is because I don't feel like his faith is deeply rooted as I would hope. He does not have a church home, and he doesn't seem to have a personal relationship with God. With this said, I feel like he wouldn't point me to the cross, and this is an important part of my life. Secondly, over the years, I've been through... Do
you want me to read the letter? I feel like you're struggling.
No, I'm reading. I'm just saying that we're trying to make sure we read it accurately.
Secondly, over the years, I've thought that we would take things to God through prayer, but if our eyes aren't fixed on God, then how would we deal with the conflict? But if both of our eyes ain't fixed on God, how will we deal with the conflict? Yeah. Okay, you go back to read.
See, I was
okay, that was a little tricky.
I want to make sure I read
it right.
what she was meaning. So, he has a beautiful 4-year-old daughter currently living with him and his parents. I've never been in a relationship with someone with a child. In my mind, he comes as a package. I'm not expecting him to drift away from his daughter to be with me. I'm not sure if I'll be ready to play the role of a stepmom in the future and how the dynamics of our relationship would look like, or what they would look like. We spoke about boundaries in our relationship, and at the top of my list was no sex before marriage, and his views was he's never been with someone who is celibate, and he's neutral about the whole thing. I'm not sure what to think of this. I'd highly appreciate hearing from you. I thank God for your channel. I've learned so much from your walk in doing life with one another. God continues to bless your union. Many thanks, L.
Thanks, L.
Thank you. So.
Okay. So a few questions there. And I have to be honest, because we read over this first, but when I read over it first, I was just, well, it kind of seems like a lot of things that you're not okay with. Like, you have a lot of things in question about the relationship off top, which kind of seems like maybe a red flag. Like, you don't seem all the way, you know what I'm saying? It's okay if it's like one thing or like maybe two, but I feel like you had some really valid things.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it could be a sign that it's okay to pass this one up.
Yeah, I mean,
that was my first thought.
Yeah, and to add to that thought, yeah, like you said that you've not said anything to your cousin about this. If this is your cousin's best friend, then you guys are in turn, lying about your talking, and so you're withholding that.
Yeah,
that means he's withholding it to his best friend, aka your cousin. I guess I just would want to know, is there a reason why you guys can't?
You decided to keep it secret, I guess.
Decided to keep it secret. Is it only because you're trying to see if it's going to work, or at the end of the day, either way, the information could come out at some point, and will need to be discussed and talked. Why you guys withheld it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I just wonder about that. Like, what is there reasons? So that's kind of an interesting piece that was in there. And
so, yeah, there's a couple of sides to this. You're 25, he's 29, which is, that's
not a big deal.
Normal age difference. But I think you also have to decide, I guess, are you guys in the same spot for dating? Are you guys both dating intentionally, looking to take the next step, or you only looking for that? Is he just kind of, so that's one thing to evaluate. Are you guys both looking at this as like a serious thing?
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's see where this could go for life, or is it just like, oh, let's kick it sometimes? You know what I'm saying? So you have to kind of determine what you guys are both looking for. And then if you do decide to pursue it, because I don't want you to take it wrong where I said it seems like a bunch of red flags. These are things that you can work through, but I also want you to not settle on what you want and your like what you believe. So number one is like a really big thing. Like nobody wants to be unequally yoked in these streets. So I think that that's a very valid concern that, you know, God is very important to you, but if you can't really tell that it's important to him, then that is cause for concern. Absolutely. And I don't know if that's something that you guys have addressed or that you've talked about, because I have to be honest, like that was that was something that I brought up for Chad very, very early on, because I didn't know where he stood in his relationship with God, in his walk. And I expressed that it was very, very important to me. And in turn, he took that and he decided to make changes. To make
sure that I was close, that I did have my own relationship. Because it's not about, I didn't want to have, here's the thing, I didn't want to have, like what you're saying here is perfect. You don't want him to have a relationship with God because you want him to.
Right.
You want him to have a relationship with God because he needs to. And because he believes that's what he needs to, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what Gabrielle, you know, with me, she's just, you know, hey, I want someone that is, you know, that loves the Lord. And you don't have to be perfect. But but at the same time, you need to be developing your own relationship with God, so that one day we can develop our own relationship with God as a union. And so that's important. I think that's a good thing that you want that, but you have to have those conversations, you know. And hey, where are you at with God? You know, what is your relationship with God?
Are you okay with where it is?
What do you want to happen with your relationship with God? You know, what do you know? Like you can have those conversations. If you can't have those conversations, well then, you know, if he just is nonchalant and doesn't, you know, then that's another, you know, potential flag for you, that he's not taking something as serious that you think is very serious, you know.
Not saying that people cannot get saved down the line, and you know there have been plenty of people who have joined up unequally yoked, and then the other one eventually came. It can happen that way, but if you can make the choice to go down that road or not, then you know, it's just good to know your options.
Absolutely.
So the second thing you mentioned was him having a 4-year-old daughter, and like that's another one of those things. Like you even recognizing that you're not even sure if you are ready to fulfill that role is huge, because you don't start off that way. Obviously you have to work your way to that, but it could eventually happen. So I think that is a really good question, and I mean it's one that obviously I can't give you the answer on that. Like only you know if that's something you're willing to even go through, because I know I know for me, like I didn't ever want to date anybody with kids, you know, because I was like, oh, I want to go experience this together with my, you know, whoever I end up with. I wanted to be our first and blah blah blah. But then I also understood that the older I got, there was a higher possibility that, you know, whoever I did end up with may have children, and I had to be okay with that. So I think that you're kind of young. You may not even be to that space yet. So it is totally okay for you to be like, no, I'm 25 and I really would rather not sign up for this. It's totally okay.
It's totally okay. Exactly. You know, but that is, like Gabriel said, that's a decision that you have to pray about. You know, if you have a close friend or someone that you can speak to, that you can just kind of leave it vague, or maybe they do know. You need to just bounce things off of people and get feedback, but pray about it, and just really, fill out, for what you're being, pulled to do. If it feels like, if you really truly feel like I can't be I'm not ready to be a mom right now, then that's your answer right there.
Right.
Doesn't mean you can't be friends.
Then you're pulled to even try this, then you got to go with what's stronger. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a big deal to sign up to be in someone's life and in their child's life. And then you said that the daughter lives with him. So then you have to think about, where's the mother? How is that relationship? Because that's another factor that you have to deal with once you get into it. You're going to always have to deal with the mother. You're going to always have to deal with that relationship. What does it look like? Are they on good terms? Are they on bad terms? There's just so many things to consider, and it's okay if you feel like, you know what, I don't want to sign up for that.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not,
okay.
you're not, you know, I think that doesn't mean you guys can't be friends, and, you know, but at the same time, yeah, if you're not comfortable with that, then you need to make sure that that's known, because that's a big, getting into a relationship is a big deal. Getting into a relationship, and then also, you know, pushing towards being a stepmom to a child that's not yours is also a big deal. Like, so there's so many factors that you have to really determine if you're even willing and ready to do that.
Yeah.
If you are, you know, then the other side of that, if you are, and those things are not scaring, you can get past those, and you think it's worth it, you know, then the conversations still need to be had.
Yeah.
You know, like, what is your faith walk? What are you trying to do with it? I want us to be on the same sheet of music when it comes to the God that we're worshiping, right? You know, that if I'm gonna be your daughter's stepmom, then, you know, I want to make sure that we have a relationship, that we build a relationship, and that there's a level of respect on both sides there. And like, there's got to be all these different things spoke about and talked through, you know, because this is a big decision, you know, and especially at 25, yeah. But it cannot be done in secret. Like, I just really believe it cannot be done in secret, you know, like, like, you guys have to be, if you're going to be in a relationship, then it needs to be, you know, you can't be walking on eggshells when it comes to your cousin.
Oh yeah.
Or like literally just that's going to cause tension, and that's going to cause, you know, this uneasiness, and you have to fake it. If you're ever hanging out with your cousin together,
yeah, it's like, what
then
you
you're going
owe
to
for
fake
that?
it. I mean, you guys could have been in a relationship for a year at this point, and you guys are still going to fake like you're not together. Like,
yeah,
it's just you know.
I think the intention is good. Like, maybe you just want to, like, we don't even want to like even get that in people's minds if it's not even going to be a thing. But then also, you have to look at it from the standpoint of, like, we're all grown, and I can very well say to my cousin, hey, you know what? I might be kicking it with your cousin, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want you involved. I'd rather just see how this goes without your input, but I'm just letting you know. Yeah. And it can be a conversation as simple as that, because
you're grown.
We're all grown. Right. So you can't stop me. So
exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, you know, and if, you know, and you would hope that if this is your cousin's best friend, that there's a level of love and respect. You would think that, I mean, if the best friend, that you'd think that there's something there, right?
Right.
And then vice versa, he's your cousin, and, you know, if you guys have a good relationship, then he should be able to see it in a way that, you know, where he understands, okay, well, you're just, you know, you're seeing if this is something that you guys can progress, you know, and if not, then that's cool. I
mean, honestly, like, I'm thinking if I was in that situation, my cousin would be the first one. I would be like, so I know this is your best friend.
So tell me about this
person.
So
tell me, like, is it even worth me going down this road? Because the best friend knows. You know what I'm saying? And your cousin obviously will hopefully be looking out for you, like, stay away, or no, he's a good dude. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
so
a good point.
I would welcome my cousin's advice about their own best friend, because they gonna tell you the truth. I mean, he should. He's family, so he should let you in on the real deal.
That's a good point.
He gonna let you know whether you should proceed or stay away.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. So yeah, just yeah, I mean, I think that you know, there's a lot of conversations that need to be had between you two, but then also a lot of conversations need to be had, you know, with you and God. Yeah. You know, like, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do?
What are you willing to sacrifice, like the celibacy?
Oh yeah.
If he's neutral, like, how neutral is neutral? Like, neutral as in, oh, okay, that's cool, with hopes of, I'm gonna break her down once we get in, or, you know, or is it more of like, oh, I totally respect that, you know, this whatever, I signed up for that. Even though I want to,
I respect that you don't.
Is different than just saying, oh, well, okay, because you, like, it doesn't give me enough to know what you're thinking in your head. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it needs to be understand that, you know, neutral is fine, but neutral with respect for your wishes is what you're looking for. Like, so. Yeah, absolutely. What you said,
like a verbal commitment, like okay, I understand that, and that's not necessarily how I.
But if that's what you want to do, we will
do that.
Wait, and you know, and that's, I respect that. I think that's what you need to hear, and know that that's not just, you know, well, whatever. If it's what you want to do, cool. But
right,
you know, like, that's like, well, I'm hoping to get you in a position where you're, you know,
you're compromised.
Exactly. You know, in a relationship, and you're, you know, willing to break that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of factors to that, but I mean, but yeah, I think that what you should do is that you've listed out the things that you're concerned about, which is good, but, then make a list of the things that you do like about it, what you do see as good, and, and look at both sides. And then, the things that you're concerned about, pray about those, and, and the things that are good, you have to kind of do this balancing beam thing, like which ones do these outweigh some of these? Or am I willing to, make it work, and nobody can answer those, for you. We can just truly just give, advice, or opinions on the situation.
Yeah. I mean, I think you, like you said, you have to weigh out, is it worth it? These feelings that I have, this apprehension, these, flags, are they worth me pursuing him?
Yeah.
Or is it worth me just being like, yeah, we good.
Yeah.
So hopefully that was helpful. Did she have one more question in there, or was that it? I think that we addressed all the things you listed.
I think that was it.
I think so.
No,
it was just the 3 things. So so take that and do what you think is going to be best for you in this situation.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the key, is what you feel. And you'll feel it. I think that most of the time people feel what's right and wrong, or if something is right or wrong, they usually feel it.
Yeah,
but we just don't always follow our feelings, or we follow the wrong feeling. We follow, I think that that's what you have to really, you're probably leaning away, and you need to start trying to figure out why you're leaning that way. And if you can still continue to lean that way, then you probably should go that direction.
That's a good point.
We just often, think about it. All of us have made bad choices because we didn't listen to the little person on our shoulder saying, "Don't do it." We listened to this other person on the shoulder saying, "Go ahead, it's cool, just whatever." Yeah. Literally, that's what it is. It's so truthful. You can always look back at a situation and say, "You know what? I probably should have done that differently."
Yeah.
Or I knew I shouldn't have done that.
I got that little warning. Or I shouldn't have done that. Brushed it off, and
exactly. Yeah. We can all look at situations like that. I challenge you to do that. Look at a situation that you did something where you're like, you know what? I knew I shouldn't have done that. Yeah. Yeah, and you'll probably be like, okay. Yep. It's the truth. It's life.
Yeah, it really is. Honestly,
it's life.
It happens.
It happens. Yeah. So. But yeah, so this is, this was something we thought this was a good,
That was a good question, though. Thank you for asking, our opinion. We appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. And then please remember that everything we say on the podcast is strictly our opinion, and no experts here, but just, 2 people that love each other that, are trying to, spread that love, life, and laughter.
That's right.
Yeah, so.
That's right.
Okay.
I got crunk, didn't I?
She got crunk. iPad.
But he's so funny. Every time I say iPad, she
gets so country.
He talks about how country I sound.
No, say iPad.
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 How do you say it?
iPad.
iPad.
It's still so country. It's so country. Like, just say a sentence. Say a normal sentence. Throw iPad in there. Say like, you know what? I can't wait to watch something on my iPad tonight.
I can't wait to watch something on my iPad tonight.
iPad. It's just so country. It's so funny.
Where did that come from? It is so weird. I am from the Midwest. I am from Indiana, but I do have that.
We both do that.
Southern twang, and I don't know if it came from my time in Nashville at undergrad or just because Nana's from the country. I don't know, but it's certain things when I say them, they just have that.
Both of us do.
A little bit of twang.
Both of us do sometimes, man.
It is so crazy. I mean, something about my time in Nashville when I was in undergrad. Hell, I lived in Tennessee with you. I've lived in Tennessee for a while.
Yeah, lived in Tennessee for
crazy.
Yeah, quite a few years.
That is crazy.
Like probably, man, like 9 years.
No, 6 years.
Undergrad, you were there for 4 years.
Undergrad was only 4 years.
4 years plus.
We were only there for 2 years, but wasn't even just a year.
Oh, I guess So 6 years. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so maybe that's even 5 years because we were only there for a year. We were there for 2 years.
2 years.
We were there for 2 years. Okay, so 6 years.
Yeah, it's great.
Good old Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah, so.
Well, we appreciate y'all listening to this here podcast.
Make sure you come on back now.
And watch on your iPads and your iPhones and them smart tablets y'all got over there in the big cities. You city slickers, you. We just appreciate everything y'all do.
I cannot take
everything
you
that you bring to us is just amazing, and we love y'all. We just really love y'all. We love y'all like grandma's apple pie. Like, you know, it's always something like about some food.
Wow. So if you've enjoyed this episode, we would love it if you would rate this podcast on whatever platform you're listening to. You can share it. Let your peeps know all about it.
Send us a letter into our mailboxes.
You can find us on Twitter at Let's Make Our Pod.
Tweet us.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
IG pick us.
All at Let's Make Our Podcast. What is IG pick us?
I don't know.
Like an Instagram picture?
Yeah.
I cannot deal with you. You know what? This is the end of this episode.
Let's get on to Facebook after this so we can talk.
Have a great day, okay?
Wherever you're out and yonder, you have a great day.
We love y'all, and we will see y'all next week.
Yes.
Deuces.
Yes, y'all. So
you are a fool.
Yeah, I love the country accent, y'all. That's it's all fun. It's all fun and games. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching.
Yes, we love y'all.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all.
We'll be back next week.
That's right.